I'm your host, the Spooky Mom. It's been a long time since I've done a spooky story, and I would like to think that some of my followers enjoy my stories, so here we are again, trying to rehash old ghosts. Everybody loves a good scare. Everybody loves a good tall tale. But what if those tall tales were based in actual fact? What if you actually met somebody who had a real life experience with the other side? They told you and you didn't believe it, and then you experienced the same thing too. Well, in our next story we're about to tell comes from Texas Road. That's right, the Texas Road, the one in Amherstburg, Ontario. This story I actually fell upon not that long ago. It was posted in a Facebook group by a wife who told a tall tale according to her husband, and then the husband had the exact same experience 3 days later. Now, I don't know if any of you out there know about the rule of three. The rule of three is usually the sign of the Trinity, Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. In my own life experience, anything good that happens to me usually happens in threes, and anything bad that happens usually happens in threes. So let's dive into this story, and I'll let you decide what to think of it. So at the end of Texas Road lies a house, an old farmhouse, and this couple recently, a few years ago, bought it, renovated it, fell in love with it, and stayed. Now, their driveway is quite long at the end of a dirt road, and you have to go down this dirt road to get to the main drag to get out to the city. So one morning, just before the sun came up, the wife had said that she had made breakfast, was looking out her kitchen window, which was facing the driveway, and it was still dark. She didn't see anybody out on the road. It was still quiet, and she had always said that it was rare that anybody would come down there because they were pretty much the only house at the end of the road. She finished breakfast, she cleaned up her mess. Nobody was outside. She got ready and left. She got in her car, and as she drove down to the end of her driveway, nobody was coming down the main road. She turned to go towards town, and as she drove down the road, she passed a man dressed in blue. But she said it wasn't just any kind of blue. He glowed blue. And it was weird. As she passed him, it was almost like he was dressed like an old miner or an old railroad worker. As soon as she passed, she looked in the rearview mirror, and the image was gone. Now, there was no road or side street or house that the figure could have gone into that quickly. She didn't think anything of it, carried on about her day. Came home from work, told her husband, and her husband was like, "That's not possible. You were probably still asleep." So she was very adamant when she told the story, and her husband got a little angry with her and said, "No, you didn't see what you saw." So 3 days pass. She never saw the specter again. And the husband went to work around the same hour 3 days later. He had a morning shift. When he came home that night, he looked pale. She said, "What's wrong with you?" Because he was very quiet when he came in the door, and that wasn't like him. And he said that he saw a glowing blue man dressed like an old miner or an old railroad worker walking down the road, and when he looked in the rearview mirror, the figure was gone, in the exact same spot that his wife said she saw him. And she looked at him and she said, "Do you believe me now?" And he's like, "I'm not sure what I believe." So 3 days after that, the two of them had to work at the same hour. So they both got in the car and they left for work. And as they drove down the road, one more time, they saw the blue specter of Texas Road. And as they passed the blue specter, it vanished. They never told this story to anybody, but as more and more ghost stories of Texas Road in Amherstburg, Ontario start coming out, and more people are collaborating saying that they saw the same thing, people are starting to become believers. Now, that being said, there are certain parts of Texas Road that are still blocked off. The police do not allow you down there because the roads are dangerous, and some of the areas down at that end of the road are dilapidated and not safe to be around. But that doesn't stop ghost hunters from going to look. That doesn't stop people, non-believers, from wanting to have their own experience, just to say that yes or no, this exists. But I would like to know what you think about the blue specter on Texas Road. Do you think the couple saw what they saw? Tell me in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. If you have a ghost story that you would like to tell, I would absolutely love to hear it. You can always email us. The link is in the description. We do miss our spooky family, and we hope that you enjoy our spooky stories. As always, I hope you remember that Spooky Mom loves you, and to stay spooky. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. We would greatly appreciate it. Have a good night.